Doc, what's going on here? There was a lot of, to me, gripping evidence introduced yesterday on both sides. What do you see?
Well, first of all, I think Chauvin's lawyer is very good in terms of finding ways to bring up reasonable doubt. One of them with the police chief. I mean, so many interesting things are going on. You were mentioning about the Asian hate and all of those protests and so on. So race has become such a big issue. Every crime, every incident is looked on as race, and no, people should not be forced to have placards or signs in their front yard saying stop Asian hate or Italian hate or Jewish hate or any kind of hate. There shouldn't be any hate, but we shouldn't be forced to put the signs. But what's interesting is when you compare that to the Chauvin trial, very little is being talked about in terms of what influence race is having on the witnesses or the race of the witnesses, the race of the lawyers, the race of the jurors. You're not supposed to talk about that.
Yeah. I think it's a lose-lose to me, Doc. You know what I mean? Because this is what we have a judicial system for. Right, to mete out justice. If the guy's found not guilty somehow, there's going to be crazy riots, right? And if he's found guilty, they're going to go crazy anyway. So it's like, what do we do? How do people prepare mentally for this?
Well, and that is certainly influencing some of the witnesses. For example, the police chief. Now, first of all, it's very rare that a police chief will give testimony like he did against someone on his police force. And of course, the fact that he is black and George Floyd is black, you have to say that is unconsciously at least influencing him. But what's influencing him more is that he doesn't want his city to erupt in violence, that he doesn't want his police officers to be attacked. And so, for him, it would be better to, first of all, give the testimony he gave and try to speak against Chauvin. And, what was fascinating, though, I mentioned at the beginning that Chauvin's the defense lawyer, is really good. He talked to this police chief and asked him about, have you ever heard of camera perspective bias? And the police chief said no. And the idea was that if you look at what happened from a different angle, a different camera, it doesn't look like he's on his neck. It looks like he's on his shoulder. Now, I don't know which is accurate, but it certainly introduced an element of reasonable doubt.
Yeah, and the coroner's, the actual Minnesota police, the coroner's report did not indicate death by asphyxiation. It indicated, heart failure potentially from drugs. So I thought this was just like you said, it must be a really good lawyer because I'm not following it that closely. I'm watching it, but this kind of stuck out to me as it probably stuck out in a lot of jurors' heads, like, right, maybe we didn't see every angle of this thing. You know what I mean? Right. I still think it's weird to have a guy pinned down in the middle of the street for 9 minutes, but whether your knee is on his neck or his back, it still seemed weird to me. But,
yes, it doesn't look good from any angle, really, in terms of he should be not acquitted, but, charged with something, but which I think is probably what's going to happen, that he's going to be charged with a lesser crime. But what really bothered me as someone who I've been an expert witness and forensic psychiatrist for over 20 years, as you said, testifying in all kinds of cases, and no way would I come to court. I'm talking about the doctor, the ER doctor who came to court, casual in his little shirt, his button-down shirt. And you look professional, you wear a jacket, and he looked like he was bored. Like, do I really have to be here? Did you see him testify?
No, I saw little snippets of it on the news, but.
Well, he really had lots of holes. Like, for example, he said that it was too late to revive him. That, of course, isn't it a little self-serving to say that it was too late to revive him when, he didn't revive him. It's easier to blame the people before you. And other things. He talked about Narcan, that wouldn't have helped, and really he didn't know that. He did say fentanyl and methamphetamine could cause asphyxiation, and that's a big win for the defense, to be able to prove that it could be something other than the police officer.
Wow. Yeah, gripping stuff. And I'm just watching it like I'm not rooting for anything except justice to be done, But from what I heard, the main buzzwords I heard popping out yesterday into the news, I felt like the defense got the better of the day yesterday.
Yes, I think, I think there are wins and losses, but the defense hasn't even really presented their case yet.
Right.
So, I think it's looking good for not getting the worst charge in any case, the worst verdict.
Right. Well, you could do a lot worse watching some other show where they don't have Dr. Carole Lieberman, America's psychiatrist, but we have her all the time when she has time for us, and she's the best in the business. Thank you, Doc. You're the bomb.
Thank you.